Calculus is a commonly area which is being asked, and also we must be in a position to answer these questions. They're not hard, it's not hard. Now you can be given, as shown in the board, we have sales revenue, whereby we have been given sales revenue in shillings and either in amount of million. So we have 23, 25 as sales revenue in amount of shillings, then 29, then 37.50. This is sales in a matter of shillings. Then you have been given the number of units sold for us to acquire the sales. So in first instance, the number of units sold is 15, then 20, then 30. But now you are required to come up with revenue function, 6 months. Revenue function, 6 months. 2, you are required to come up with maximum revenue for producing product, which means you must calculate for quantity Q, then substitute in the revenue function to get the maximum revenue. And 3, if you are asked for revenue that we can realize if we have 80 quantity, so what will be the revenue? And that one we must substitute in our revenue function. Therefore, revenue function is very, very important. But there's one thing that is missing, one of the ingredients that is missing, which is we can calculate revenue function based on quadratic nature equation. Or he can just tell you it's about quadratic nature. The revenue function is about quadratic nature. Therefore, write the quadratic formula, which is A x squared plus bx plus c. But I want to caution my students in that in revenue, we don't really acknowledge the constant. We don't acknowledge the constant. So we shall be so much concerned with amount of ax squared plus bx. Now come up with the 3 equations. Because we have amount of 3 nature of structure. 1, 2, 3. Therefore, I'll call it A. I'll come up with the equation A, where I'm substituting the x, where I'm substituting the unit sold, which can be x or q. So this 15, I'm going to substitute here. I'm going to substitute here. In revenue function, I don't care about the constant. But in cost function, I should care about the constant. Therefore, A is the first equation. A 15 squared A, which is the x, plus x, which is 15, B should be equal to 2325. There we are. My first equation. The second equation is where I use x as 20. Use x as 20. Therefore, 20 squared A plus 20 B is equals to 2,900. So basing on our quadratic equation, C, I'll use 30. So 30 squared A plus 30B is equals to 37. 37. So I have formulated these three equations. But what I need is only two equations. So I need to come up with simultaneous equation. What I need to come up with is simultaneous equation. So as I can solve for A, for B, and substitute it in our quadratic equation. Therefore, what am I going to do? I'm going to have B minus A. This equation, I will less this equation so as I can come up with the first equation. Then I'll have C minus B. This is how I'll come up with the simultaneous equation. This is how I'll come up with simultaneous equation. B minus A will give me one of the equation. Again, C minus B, it will give me another equation. So let us do it. B minus A, which is 400 A, when you square 20 plus 20B is equal to 2,900 less A, 15 by 15, that is what? 225. Let me seek the help of my calculator to be sure. Exactly. So 225A plus 15B is equal to 2325. So we are talking about that. So our first equation will be 175A plus 5B is equal to 575. To me, that will be my first word equation. Therefore, let me proceed to C minus B. C minus B, I've done A, I've done B minus A. Therefore, coming here, C minus B. In C minus B, I'm talking about 900 and when you square 30 is 900 and plus 30B is equal to 3750. Then I'll proceed to our A, which already we have it here. Sorry, proceed to our B, because that is a matter of C. Our B already which we have it here. 400 A plus 20B. 29. Therefore, get that equation, which is so we are saying 3750 less 8,900, it is 850. That is our second equation. Therefore, our simultaneous equation will be, therefore, our simultaneous equation will be 500A plus 10B is equal to 850. As here we have 175A plus 5B is equal to 575. So I can have it here. So my student, you can solve for that simultaneous equation and come up with A or B. But in just a matter of 3 minutes, I can solve it so as we can come up with A or B. Therefore, I can multiply the first equation with 2. First equation with 2. And the second one with 1. So as I eliminate B. Therefore, 175 by 2, we are having 350 A plus 10B equals 2. 1150, we shall less. 500A plus 10B equals to 850. 350A minus 500A, it is 150A. 150A, but the negative. This one goes, is 0. Therefore, 1150 minus 850, it is 300. So, what is our A? A is equals to 300 divided by negative 150, whereby our A is equal to negative 2. Negative 2. Our A is negative. How about B? We can substitute A in any equation and so as we can come up with B and therefore come up with the revenue function. We can substitute. So I can have 350 by 2. So plus 1150 divided by 10. B, I'm getting it to be 185. If you substitute here, 350 into bracket negative 2 plus 10B is equal to 1150. This is negative 700. So 10B is equal to 1150, take it there, plus 700. 10B is equal to 1150 plus 700, 1850. Therefore, B is 185. B is 185. So our revenue function is, we substitute here, revenue function is negative 2x squared. This is our B plus 185x. That is our revenue function. Let me adjust that is our revenue function. It is negative 2x squared plus 185x. Now we shall proceed in Roman 2 and get x. The next video is about calculating for x. So thank you very much for that session. I'm going to proceed and calculating x in our